Alright guys, the only thing we did was raise the cab after we cut the floor, and I just shoved this back. Now I did have to take the front wheels off the rollers. So that side, now if you're wondering where we're cutting it at, we got the C-clamp on there to imitate center, which that way I can hook a tape measure to it and measure outside each side. We got 31.5 from C-clamp to end, or 63 inches from each side of the firewall. Guys, I know we got to test fit it right, make sure we're gonna get down low enough right, check our fender clearance, wheel centerness, then we'll come back and clean all this up, and then we'll brace everything before we put it back down. Figured to show you what I started doing, which you would have seen it, but I'm having camera malfunctions. I'm gonna have to update something. I'll show you up here. Okay, we had to cut some more of this cowl out, a good amount. We're leaving the center because I don't have to cut stuff. I'm not going to cut it. We're just going to trim it, bend it, shape it, and weld it in to make all this work. Had to cut this corner out too, which we had to take our fresh air cap off, which is laying down there. We might have to build something to make it work right once we know where everything's going to set. But yeah, but now we're starting over here. Gotta cut this corner out, and then we gotta cut all the way across. We'll take this hump out, and we're gonna cut across that seam seal all the way up to here and get rid of this piece. I'll show you on this side. I'll start doing it. And I thought I had you guys recording, but we cut it off here. We ran all the way up to here. Cut this corner off. Now you can see these main braces. This one needs some work, and this one does too. We're gonna cut them off flat, and we'll weld in some square tube to make all that work. To brace it, we'll weld in like pieces of square in once we cut this off. But I wanted to cut back enough to where this was flat, where I could spot weld to this. We might even come up to here, to this seam, but we just want to see where this is gonna set first. So I'm gonna cut straight across, and we're gonna cut this little corner out to right here to the jam, just that corner. Take it out of the way, and then we're going to set it all back down and see where we're at. Now I did take the steering brace out, or the dash brace out, just so it's out of the way. We're going to go up here and clip off a bunch of this stuff, take that radio out, and the old heater knobs. We're not going to throw none of that stuff away, we're just going to remove them so they're not jamming up anywhere. Yeah. And worst comes to worst, after I got this back far enough, you can kind of see up there in that corner, we could still take 3-4 inches out of that corner. I don't want to, because between them two panels there's a big square tube already welded in for a brace. So if this gets us where we want the 4 level to be, this is where she's going to stay. Then we'll check our fender gap. Make sure our wheels center the fender, which last night was a 1/2 inch. We need to go 1/2 inch forward. But I got a lot of stuff out of the way. So if this gets us down where we want, we'll throw some lowering springs on the front and lower the back some more. We'll make it lower, but we'll just have to see. Because I do not want to sacrifice this HVAC, AC. This is the main reason we're doing this, is so this truck you can get in, cruise and go wherever you want, cruise control, trailer mode, all that right here inside this Firewall. So I don't want to have to sacrifice none of that. Now I do know we have to rebuild these corners. I'm going to buy an inner and outer door pocket. I'm going to rebuild the whole bottom half. And then I'm going to order the step and rocker panel. So we're not going to weld none of this in until them parts come in, because we got to make sure our factory measurements from here to here, crossways from jam to jam, is all that's still right. I measured all that before we cut the floor out just to make sure nothing moved, which nothing really moved when I cut it. So we're just going to have to get in here, find out. Alright guys, you got to check this out. We are down. I figured out my camera problem. It was overheating and I had a bad battery. So now we're back to video and everything, but I'm going to show you where I went so far. What I've done so far. We cut this corner out. The cab's setting level, but if I drop it, we're already touching the floor back here, so that's far enough here, because down here's our rocker, which you still got 2 inches here for the rocker. The front, we need to go down about 3 more inches. And we are clearing everything on the HVAC so far. Of course, I showed you last time we cut that out. Now we got to cut this upper top out to give us where we want. The only thing in the HVAC we had to modify, we're going to have to modify, is the fresh air vent, which you can already see that we can kind of make our own. But check this out. You guys can see that. Look at that old school brazing from the old farmer. Must have been a hole or something there. You just got some brazing rod and brazed her. I like that. I hope I can leave that without cutting it off. But see, I wanted to use this rear factory brace. So once we get the front where we want, we're going to cut this floor back some more, back through there, so we can weld this floor to that brace. Then we'll build us a patch panel here, a nice cool patch panel. But man, we are clearing. I know you're going to see all that sitting in there, but I don't know yet. Might build a panel, might not. We'll see how it goes. If I can get to go a little bit more to where some of that will tuck up under the dash, will be golden. Because most new trucks anyway, you see the bottom half. But the whole main reason of this build, it's going to be a cruiser. We want the AC, we want the heat, we want the cruise, we want everything. I know you can spend a bunch of money buying something like that to put in these 57 models. But guys, this truck was pretty far going when I got it. It would have cost me an arm and leg to rebuild it or restore it. And we've had it a long time. Why not do something unique with it? I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for cutting up this truck. But hey, all I gotta say is, it's mine. It's not yours. Hate it, love it, I don't care. I'm loving it so far. But guys, this is going to look wicked. Now I do have to come forward. Now she's not all the way forward where we need it to be. This door pockets, hinge pockets need to be all the way up against the firewall. But to where we're setting, we still got to come. This is going to have to be about out here. And then our fenders will line up. But I am going to test fit one here real quick, just to make sure. Another thing we've done is cut this cowl piece out. And I went ahead and cut this little piece here out. You can see in the previous video, or previous shot, there's two little pieces there. I cut them out and had to wait for my good battery to charge fully. Now we're going to lower it down and see what happens. We're damn close. You can kind of see this slip we left is hitting the emergency brake brace that was left that I cut off. And we're hitting the bolt holes right there on top of that aluminum steering brace. So either we gotta notch the cab out, which probably be the best thing to do. That way we can make a piece of metal from that steering wheel brace to the dash when we go put this all back, and then keep going. But for now, we are way closer than what we was. Like, we jacked up and level in and got like a little cunt hair down there on the back. We're gonna stick a fender on it and make sure we don't need to go. Yeah, I think that's as low as we're gonna go with it. Now, I gotta get something under here and find a jack stand. You're about to take a shower. Alright, you're about to see it. Tell me when this looks like it's level.
Alright, you're too far.
Too far?
You're going down.
Oh, dang, that's gonna be in my way. I guess I can bring it out a little bit just so we can see it. Haha, damn. I think that's as far as I can go down with the cab without disrupting the AC stuff. Huh? Alright guys, got the fender set. We had to shove the cab back a little bit. I'm sorry guys, I'm a one-handed bandit, alright? But take a look at that. That's about where we want it. Now we still see some top of tire, some gap in the fender. Ain't nothing like a little bit of cutting of a spring, you know what I mean? Just kidding. I like the way that looks. Our rocker's gonna be, once it's back, you ain't gonna be able to see the frame underneath of it. See the bottom of the fender? Our rocker lines up with it, and you will not see that frame. We are going to have to build some panels back here, so there's going to be like a little bit of a kick up in the back, like the original was. But, oh man, this ain't a lot of cutting, and we're not setting perfectly level. This is just setting on here for mock-up. I'm going to put the hinge, the hood hinge up there, make sure we don't need to build a pocket for it. But the factory cut out of the 57 fit perfectly over the frame. We did not have to disturb none of the HVAC. We have all our HVAC. Yeah, shit's laying everywhere, but it's all there. And we didn't get it low enough that we wanted to hide a lot of it. But that don't bother me, guys. It does not bother me. This is going to be a cruiser. If I have to, I'll build like a drop kick panel or something there somehow, something fancy, or just leave it. I'm probably going to paint the whole inside of the cab, floor and everything black anyway, so it'll kind of blend in. We'll see. If not, it'll all be easy to get to replace stuff. That's not my worries. Yeah, it might be an eyesore, but we built this for a cruiser. We wanted the heat, AC, cruise. I've said it before. We wanted all the 2005 essentials. Okay? We wanted it all. And I didn't want to get rid of the 57 dash. It's beautiful. We are going to go through and put aftermarket gauges in and tie them into our 05 harness. We're going to leave all the old buttons. We're even going to put back the old heater buttons down there just for show. It's not going to be nothing. Just put them in for show. And then we got the old heater box that was in the floor, and we're going to turn that into a speaker box with our Bluetooth box, and we're going to mount it right here in the center, right in the back, because we're just going to run 2 buckets. These older trucks, there ain't much side to side room. Yeah, you could probably put 3 in there, but I think it's going to fit better 2 comfortably. So we're going to use the 2 05 buckets, build like a semi center console, because this will eventually be 5-speed As you can see, that cutout panel right there, we can cut it out and put a 5-speed in it. We'll run that transmission till it goes, but you can see our fender lines up too. The back of the cab needs to come up just a hair, but there's a lot of cutting involved. You can see a lot of cutting. We're gonna go ahead and cut this, follow this seam, cut this piece off. Now, this side is wider than that side, and I say it's because the brake booster, pedal, steering column, stuff like that. So I'm trying to make a strong reference, and from here to there is the same on both sides, but from here to the front of the firewall, we're 7 7/8. So over here we're not, we're 6 1/2. You can see here we're shorter. So from here to the end of that, we're exactly the same as the other side. From here to here, 6 1/2. So we're gonna cut this out. We're gonna make this 7 7/8. Okay. Now we got a good flat reference point. We're gonna come through here, and we are gonna be cutting right down this line completely out. Nice straight line. We're doing away with this piece. That's interfering in with the door jamb here for us to get stuff centered and leveled. Just got home from the daily grind, the old bread maker, you know what I mean? And did some cleanup. Got all of our scrap down there because we don't know if we need it yet. We might need some up for like measuring and whatnot. Got this corner all cleaned up so we can get to our metal we have. And yeah, I'm a mess already. But we still got to cut this corner a little bit so we can make it all level and the right length. But right now I'm making our side panel. Still got to cut on this side a little bit. We're making our side panel from here to here, so it's all nice and flat to replace what was there. And we're going to put 4 inches there. So we're taking this metal here. It's kind of hard to see, but cutting long ways, 8 inches down the middle is 4. I cut a little sliver off here, and we're going to tack weld all this in on the sides and both sides, and then we're going to run a piece of angle across this top to overlap, like angle in this way like this. And then of course I'm going to show you, sand all this out nice and smooth, make sure this is flat and level, tack it in, and then we're going to build a nice big flat piece of metal here with a bend in it right here, so it goes up in here. We can tack weld it in here with a bend. Then we'll cap this part with another piece of metal that bends down here inward so we can tack it. And this is going to be our base to level this cab out and to weld this cab to this firewall right here. Once this is just plastic, there ain't nothing under it. Might even cut it out, I don't know yet. But this is our base for that to set on. We're going to get all that worked out, make sure the cab's level. Then we're going to come up here, cut this out completely, this whole lip. It's up here. We got to watch our steering brace bracket. Yeah. And then once we get that cut all nice and smooth and everything's setting down, we can take a measurement from there to the inside of the 57 and see how much we need. Once we know everything's level, and once we get this down, we're going to clean this piece here up, tack that in where we need it, where it's square and level, and make sure our front clip works. And then we can fully weld everything in. The stuff on this firewall, not the cab. because we have to lift this cab back up and higher, which I might do it while we got it out. We got to cut some of the dash out on the bottom lip, and then we got to make filler panels on the inside here. You see that square tube up there from the factory? That's going to be our base point right here. Alright guys, well, since yesterday I woke up. Oh wait a minute, let me show you what my wife got me real quick. Check out this badass coffee cup. Hell yeah. Well, anyway, my bad. Since yesterday, we got this piece tacked in, and I don't think I'm gonna worry about that little off even cut. I fucked up, let's just say that. The other side's that way too, just a little bit right there. So, but anyway, since then, this is our scrap piece we had. I got one here, we drilled holes in. Sorry guys, I'm one-handed. Now, this will go the full length. You can see down there better now with daylight. This will go the full length of this. Now this might be a little overkill. It'll go like that. We're gonna spot weld just it in for now, temporary. And then we're gonna make our upper plate with a bend in it, spot weld it in. And then we're gonna do this inside cap last, once we know this is gonna set flat. Then we're gonna go to the other side and do the same thing. Spot weld everything in, make sure this is gonna work correctly. Because before, with it just setting up here, which it ain't setting there no more because I cut everything off, it wasn't setting exactly level. And this truck is not exactly level. I think the upper control arm caster's out. If you can see, that one's kind of center. This one's all the way down, but it's leaning a tad bit. Or it's got a weak spring. One of the two. But then I gotta jack everything up and level the body, or the frame, to this before we test everything. But for now, we're just gonna get this metal cleaned up on the inside real good, get her tacked in when we need her. No walking. We got her in. It does not look level right here. It is, trust me. It's just this 05 Firewall's all kinds of, it ain't perfect. Neither is that cab mount. That cab mount's totally different from that side. That's what made me lost. Now, when I started making all these brackets, now it's showing we're just a little off level, but we don't have our bolts in. So when I push just a tad bit, we're level once the bolts go in. So now we know we're level. Now, figure out the top piece. And that shouldn't be too bad. I think I got a perfect piece of metal for it. As long as my bender will bend it. I'm gonna cut some of this stuff here off. Some of this hockey puck crap, whatever that is. Seam sealer, can't even think of the name of it. I lose my mind. Whoa. Gunfire, did you hear that? Damn, again. But anyway, back at it again. They gave me some coffee. So I was looking through all my scrap pile. My dad brought me a lot of stuff because I don't know what I need. And I'd rather clean rust off of it and use it. I mean, we're going to patina look anyway, so what's it matter if it's rusty? Then I had to move my son's Lightning McQueen goat cart that we still got to build. I was looking through the scraps from building the seat brackets for Gator out there. And I couldn't find nothing. I got metal to cut up and fabricate. But then I just remembered, when I buy a cold air kit with tubes and stuff in it, It comes with all these brackets that I never use. And look at this. I gotta trim it a little bit and bend this lip here up so we can spot weld it into the firewall. But this is gonna work perfect. And it's thick enough, strong enough. Then on this side, we got another one, which no, that was on over there. One of them, I stole some of it off already. But then this lip so we can spot weld. And look, both sides already got that curve up. So all we gotta do is build a small little panel here to attach everything. It's gonna work perfect. Clean some of the paint off of it, and should be golden. See this one here, once I trim out back there, it's almost lining up with that inner piece there already. So yeah, and this will work perfect. Which I'm gonna temporary get this where I need it and cut it and just tack it so this don't collapse on us when we're testing everything. But now we're back at it again. Day 920 of cutting metal, breaking blades, and making shit work. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, shit. I guess I can show you guys. I mean, I'm pretty far away. Hell. Look at there. Perfect little box. We still might have to notch some of this factory firewall. I don't know yet, but we're going to put this down. It's not all the way down right here because that little tack weld I'll put back here. But that's what we're going to do. Now you can see I had 4 big holes here and added 2 in each side of these smaller ones. We cleaned everything up. Where we left off earlier, while I was waiting for batteries to charge, is this. I got this just tacked in, well, spot welded in, and it looks like shit. But this is just temporary. We'll go back through, we'll put some beads here and there. I don't think it needs fully welded in, but, and this is half-ass temporary to make this level. This is perfectly level, crossways, this way, this way, perfectly level. Now once we know the cab's setting on here and we got everything where we need it, we'll roll all this out. We'll come back in here and build us a plate. Now, over here, I kind of just started taking some metal together, marking, doing some figuring off camera. And guys, I don't have no more of this thickness metal. Well, I got the metal, but I don't have one with that bend in it, and my bender will not bend that perfect bend. So I'm going to take 2 pieces of metal on this side. I'm going to put this one behind this panel, spot weld it in, and then this one's going to go on the outside, so we'll have a piece of metal between it. I really want the same thing on both sides to give it that strength, because I mean it's pretty thick, good bent metal. So you're not going to see it. I mean, you're really not going to see it. This whole outer panel of this cab's going to cover all this once we got it set down. Alright guys, well, I got our holes punched. They're not perfect. They're just diagonal from the other ones. We're going to get this in there, spot weld it, and then I'm going to go get something to eat because my damn stomach thinks my throat's cut and I'm about starved. So, we'll get the rolling tool, clean this up. I know this looks like shit. I know. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for it. Looks like crap. But we got good square support here, strong support. This ain't right now because we don't have nothing boxed in on top of it. We'll come through, we'll finish these spot welds out, and we'll come through and weld inside. Guys, you'll never see that when the cab's down on it, so I'm not really too worried about it. We're dead nuts level up here, sanding some stuff down. And before I do, we're going to put our bar back across the bottom of the frame and clamp it and measure from here to the top to make sure we're 28 inches, which we're going to be a hair over because we put the angle on top. But now, get this piece. What do we have? Like this. Get this piece in here, like that, on our angle. Alright. We'll do the same thing over there. We'll bend this lip. We can't bend this one because it's opposite, and we want that to tie to that. So, and then there'll be our flat box there. So we'll have the same height. We'll be flat here. We've got the same height over here. And we're already flat and level on that side. So once we get this side done, we will be golden. Guys, that's it for now. Be back with you here later. I gotta get something to eat. Alright guys, we're back at it again. I went and got me something to eat and got this cut and drilled. So there we go. Next. This mold cleaned up and you're tacked in, and let's set this cab down and see if she's gonna set good. Remember, we just got this stuff tacked in, or spot welded in. We got a temporary brace here. We're on boxes. We just want to make sure all this is going to work. Now, I'm going to clean up some mess, put you on a jack over here, sweep some of this stuff under, and I want to take a quick measurement from the frame mount up on both sides just to make sure we're good. Then we're going to slide the frame back under and set the cab down. Alright guys, I got the front clip on. I had to shut the camera off because I had my kids have a bunch of friends over and they was playing basketball. The basketball hoop's right above the garage door, and I know you guys didn't want to hear all that, so I got it just sitting on here bolted right now. Never got as far as I wanted to, but we got super far. I'm really happy with the progress and the time I had to work on it. I'm happy with the progress, but we ran into a small issue where this truck is set so long with the
cab corners and cab floor and all that stuff separated before I even cut the floor out. The bottom of the cabs has shifted a little bit, the bottom part. So what I'm gonna have to do is cut our welds loose on the braces I put in. We already got the back of the cab mounted temporary, centered, setting where we want. The front is off corner to corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my welds loose on the back part of the cab. We're going to get a ratchet strap and get our measurements right on the bottom on each side. Re-weld our braces in and then center the front. We're off on the passenger side a little bit, like an inch, half inch, something like that. So, and the tires and wheels are way too big for this truck, so we definitely need to downsize a little bit. This is an older truck. The fender well is really small to be running 18-inch, 265-inch tires. And it's too big, especially for how low I put this body. You're gonna be shocked how low I got this body, and still be able to use all the HVAC. Yeah, we gotta do some fabrication. I mean, but still, let me turn around and show you how far we got. And I appreciate all the new subscribers, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. That way I can get you some more content out. Okay. Let me know what you like to see. This process is going to be a long winter process here. But if I can get it square tacked in where we want her, we'll start building some fancy panels and welding stuff in fully. Yeah. Let me turn around and show you. Alright. Oop, hit the wrong button. Okay. We temporary got the back of the cab self-tapped to the center of the floor. Now, our 57 brace, main cab brace, is right on, notched out the 05 main brace. So that's going to be a good attachment point right there. These are just temporary. Now we got the cab centered. We measured center of the frame, outside of the frame and everything, and measured the back of the cab. We got the back of the cab centered. Now, we didn't have to notch nothing out on the cab. So it's setting over the frame like it was from factory. Now, and here's the braces we built. See how good that's gonna look inside? Nice, perfect brace. And this got a kick panel cover that comes in here. You won't see this. We did have to notch this to pull it back some, but we gotta replace this stuff. This stuff's gonna be new. But you can see we're setting right in the center of our HVAC. Now we still got a notch. We're gonna take an inch out of the bottom of this dash, and then I'm gonna build my own little aluminum box for the HVAC. It's just gonna blow straight out. It's not gonna have separate vents except for defrost. Defrost we're gonna run up to and hook to the factory defrost vent, which is up in here. It blows in here between the windshield and the dash. We're gonna run up some flexible tube from the 05 that's already on it and attach them for that. So we'll have defrost, AC, and heat in here. Now our issue is right here. We're off a good bit here, just on the bottom. So once I cut that loose, we should be able to get where we need it. But you can see this is not set in level because we just got jack stands under it. But this side, you can see, needs to go back some. Now, I did some measuring, a lot of measuring. From here to there is perfect. There to there is perfect. You get down here, we're way off. Way off down here too. Even if we go from the bottom of door jamb to door jamb, we're off a lot on that side. Now this truck's set for I don't know how long in the field. A long time, and everything was rotted out, so nothing was connected up front on the corners. So it had all the time in the world to shift and move where it wanted to. But yeah, I mean, we're not perfect here. You can see, still got to shift a little bit, but we are centered. But we'll get it. But it is now not on no stands at all. And guys, we're going to be as low. We're going to be pretty low. Once the fender's where we need it, I think there's like 2 or 3 inches there. Take that away. Our rocker panels will come down to this fender and straight across. So, I mean, you're not going to see that 05 frame at all. This thing looks pretty killer. We got everything where we want it. We are going to have to notch some of the dash out to get the cowl and the fit correctly. But we're not going to hack it to where it's not going to look right. So, I mean, I think it will be like clear over here. So we only got to like take this little hump out just a little bit and kind of form it to that side. We might actually cut this out, then cut this out and slide this over it and re-weld this mold in to make it the perfect fit. But yeah, we'll see when that time comes. And I decided to not tear up the factory gauges. Let me show you. Guys, these are too nice. Too nice. Watch out, Margaret. Too nice to tear up. I mean, yeah, I could put just gauge pods in here. But why? I think I'm just going to keep these back. I mean, I might change my mind. You guys tell me. Old school look with old school dash. Or build my own bezel. Inner and outer bezel. And put the 2005 dash inside this hole. Tell me what you think. But guys, that's it for now. I'm gonna do some stuff with the family. It's Sunday. I've been out here for a couple hours already and I haven't accomplished fucking nothing. But able to get the jacks out. That's about it. A lot of cutting, a lot of hacking. Yeah. But I mean, there's one good thing. I mean, look at Gators just out there chilling. Maybe we'll take it to Spirit Halloween. Oh. No, I'm just kidding. I appreciate it, guys. Oh, one more thing. The motor will clear the hood. Really need to get the hood up here next. But I think before we start setting anything in here, period, I think this is where we're going to stop for now for a little bit. We need to order the rockers, inner and outer jams. We need to jack this up and get this stuff welded in and get our gaps right. So we know where we're at exactly before we start welding all this in. Now we can still do more to it. We can take the cab back off. We can patch this rusted out panel out here. We can take the cab back off and fully box in that piece that we made the pockets for. So we can still do stuff like that, but I think I'm gonna get an old interweb and go ahead and order rockers, inner and outdoor hinge pillars, and start replacing that stuff. That way we can get this cab exactly square side to side and centered perfect. But that's it for now. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. More to come with Tator later.